I tell you what, man, that intro song, that intro music gets me going, man. Really does. Yeah, it is Saturday, October 30th, 2021. And we are live for the first time doing a Steelers preview. And who do we have this week? None other than the Cleveland Browns. By the way, somebody in chat let me know if the mic is working, because I did a live stream yesterday and the mic was completely blown out. Pump, what's going on? He says, let's go. How are you doing? I am doing great. But the title has meaning to it. Being a realist, a Steelers fan, not always the greatest thing, man. Especially when it comes to content creation. I tend to kind of stand on my own ledge, my own turf, my own ground. Whatever word you want to put there. Steel Twin says, Mike sounds great. I'm pretty sure you guys know what I'm talking about, Twins. When we did the Max stream, the mic sounded like crap. Probably because it wasn't coming through the microphone. It was probably coming through the camera. Oh, man, I am going to ruffle some feathers today. Better believe it, man. So here's the deal. I'm going to do what I normally do when I'm not live. I'm going to look over the injury report, which we do have the final report. And I'll give you guys my thoughts on, and here's a spoiler, 2 mediocre teams, man. It is the battle of mediocre here in the AFC North this week with the Steelers versus the Browns. I know, shocking. It's shocking coming from a Steelers fan, I know. Because you guys aren't used to, and I'm so glad I get to do this on my own channel now. You guys aren't used to getting that real shit. You guys are used to being fed lullaby stories, man. You guys are being fed bullshit, to put it quite honest. Because again, this is the battle of the mediocre. And one of these teams is more mediocre than the other. Who would that be? Well, I guess we'll have to see tomorrow. Man, before we get into this, man, I just want to say I appreciate everybody who has subscribed to the channel, who tunes in every single weekend for the watch parties. I appreciate 2 years now on YouTube, and I'm very aware that my opinions on this team is probably going to push some people away. So I just have to take a moment to appreciate those who stick around. Because this season is not going to be like last season, regardless of how this thing ends. It's just not, man. We are not going to be putting bows on shit on this channel. Why do I say that? Because I go back to last week. You people continuously say any given Sunday. I'm just not there, bro. A win is a win, except for when the win isn't what you were expecting. What do I mean by that? Look at what happened last week against the Seahawks. And it's funny, Game Review just said Steelers by 3 in the chat. Is that really, does that make you guys feel comfortable knowing that the Steelers can only just squeeze by the Cleveland Browns, who came into our home in playoffs, beat our ass, forced the Steelers to play as desperate as possible? We are talking about a franchise that is historic, struggling against a franchise that couldn't spell win if it was plastered on their face. The Cleveland Browns have absolutely nothing historic about them outside of being historically garbage. And that is the truth. Yet here we are, week 8 of the NFL, and we're all overly excited about this game. This game on the schedule used to be boring to me. Fuck the rivalry. I don't want a rivalry with the Browns. I want a rivalry with the Ravens or the Bengals. Those are the two teams in the AFC North that I'm accustomed to. And even those two franchises couldn't hold a candle to this one. So why am I so negative? Because this Steelers team allowed the Seahawks to run all over us. And if there's any strength to the Browns, it's the running game. And I don't know if you guys are unaware, but Chubb is back this week. Has anyone else thought about this yet? Are we putting the puzzle pieces together? I mean, honestly, is this becoming clear to you yet? Or do I need to spell it out for you? We allowed a Seahawks team to take us to overtime, who they themselves are suffering injuries. Led by a quarterback that you last heard of playing for the New York Jets. I mean, Weedy says, yeah, we adjusted in the fourth quarter. Fuck that noise, bro. Fuck that noise. We allowed over 100 yards on the ground. If the Cleveland Browns come into this game at home and they run the ball like they have been so far, especially what they did last week with a guy that we've never heard of, and now they add Nick Chubb back into the mix, and the Steelers allow the same thing to happen, it's going to be 10 times worse. And yeah, we live in the NFL now that, passing is dominant. But we all know, at least those who understand football, that running the ball controls the clock. And I don't know about you guys, but I don't trust this offense. And that is the hardcore truth right there. See, this wouldn't be an issue if we had a offense that could actually produce. But we don't. So I don't give a shit what happens tomorrow, and I'm going to say what I said last week. If we don't come into this game and make a statement, it don't mean nothing to me. Winning by 3 points is not going to make me feel more comfortable about what's going on heading into the future. Because we have a lot more stiff competition on the way. Leedy says, but at the same time, I tried to tell Steelers Nation and other fan bases that we weren't going to blow the Seahawks out. Okay, well, we literally escaped with a win. And I get it, man. I'm kind of going off of what ifs. But I'm also just kind of looking at the projected future right now. And right now, as of today, we are in last place of the AFC North in a fucking division that is ultra competitive this season. I mean, extra competitive because the Bengals surprised all of us. So everyone that's saying that the Steelers are going to have a Super Bowl XL kind of season where we sweep or sneak into the playoffs, we play the underdog throughout the playoffs, get that out of your head. Steel Twin says there should be zero excuses in this game. Time to start playing their best ball. Well, the stage has been set. You have a divisional rival who, again, whooped your fucking ass in the playoffs last season. Kicked you out after going 11-0 and you were TikToking, you were dancing, you were showing off. Two things that championship Steelers teams in the past never done. You got all this. The stage is set. You had a bye week. In fact, it's a good way to transition into the injury report. Let's do that now. So, as far as out, Eric Ebron, for the Steelers, that is. He's the only player right now that has been confirmed out with a hamstring injury. If you ask me, that's not so bad. And of course, Ingram is doubtful, which growing. I don't even know what to say to that. And we all know the rumors that have been going around this week with him. Apparently, he doesn't want to be here. Why he's still on this roster, I don't know. I guess some people say, well, we need depth. Well, I don't want guys on the team that don't want to play here. It's just that simple, man. But of course, I don't run the team. But anyways, Ingram, doubtful, probably not going to play. And of course, Carlos Davis is on IR. Ben Roethlisberger is still listed as pectoral hip. Still having issues there, but he did have full practice Thursday and Friday. Chase Claypool, same exact thing, hamstring, but got practice Thursday and Friday. McFarland, non-factor. Zach Banner, I don't fucking know. You tell me what you expect from Zach Banner in the chat, because at this point, it's a huge question mark. I don't know what we're getting with Zach Banner. Great guy, though. Great guy. Moving down to the Browns list, it's pretty long. We are not getting the best Browns team, obviously, tomorrow. Beckham, questionable. In fact, the only confirmed person out is their safety, Richard. But on the questionable list, we got Beckham, we got Clowney, we got Stanton, and their defensive tackle, Jackson. Baker Mayfield is going to be playing more than likely. At least that's what's being said. And I guess some folks, in fact, almost everybody seems to think this is a positive thing. Which, I mean, I guess. And that's pretty much it for injury report. So there you have it. Let's get back to the chat here. Let me see what's going on in chat. Game Review says, let's go. Ebron's out. I never seen so many people excited about Ebron being out. This could be a good thing, though. Chad says, I agree with the Zach Banner is a question mark. I mean, who is this guy? Who is this guy? He's so beloved in Pittsburgh. Why do we continuously fall in love with these players that haven't done shit? You know, I'm wearing my my TJ Watt jersey. I don't wear this often, but maybe I should. And I bring that up because, again, why do we continuously trophy these players on this team that haven't done jack shit? It goes back to my Juju statement. When you think about Juju, let's think about positives. And I'll get back on track here. People got on my ass about the whole Juju hate. What has Juju done? I mean, when I think Juju Smith-Schuster positives, I think of a guy who, I'm talking on the field, by the way. I think of a guy who laid out a guy and looked like Hines Ward. It's one of the first plays that comes to my mind. But I also think about a guy that had Antonio Brown. And when Antonio Brown departed, his numbers decreased dramatically. And I also think about a guy who's had a few fumbles in key situations. But I don't see a guy that led us to anything that has any kind of meaningful anything. Game Review says Juju is a shitty Hines Ward. Damn. You said it, not me, bro. Oh, man. Leedy says McFarland hasn't even played this season yet. Plus, we misused him last season. Yeah. McFarland's actually a speedy back, but, you know, I can't remember if that was on Max's stream or Twins, but I I don't understand why the Steelers are running a one running back system. I really don't. It makes no sense to me. I mean, they're going to do him the same way they did Le'Veon Bell. They're going to run this guy into the ground. Game Review says Claypool, Deontay, and Jay Washington at times is better. And I don't know what the hell to think about the James Washington situation. No idea. No idea, man. I don't know what's going on with the team. I don't know if they just don't like this guy. I couldn't tell you. But I'd have to imagine he's got to be better than what we've been getting. And you don't put Ray McCloud over James Washington. So that to me is just a huge what the fuck. So, Lady says Zach Banner hasn't been able to stay healthy, but when he's on the field, he's quite good, quietly good. But again, that's when he's healthy. But honestly, even when he's healthy, I don't remember Zach Banner. So maybe what you're saying, quietly good, maybe there's some truth to that. I don't know. Me personally, I don't know what we have in him. And I don't know if him coming back is going to be very fruitful for the offense. Or more specifically, the offensive line. Which, since the beginning of the season, we knew coming into this that this offensive line was going to have some growing pains. And to an extent, I guess some people argue that they've gotten better. I'm holding off on saying that because I don't know. I want to see how this offensive line does against much better defenses, more well-rounded teams, before I start giving out trophies. I mean, honestly, man, going back to last season, there's a vast difference between week 8 of 2020 and week 8 of this season. Because that's just who I am. And that's kind of what this stream is, man. The reason I wanted to go live is because I really want to pound in some people's heads about what this channel is about. Last year, I praised the team. And then 2 weeks prior to the Steelers losing their first game of that season, I started changing my tune. I even wrote an article because at the time last year, I decided to change the channel to Steel Yinzers, or Steelers Country, I'm sorry. And I wrote an article specifically about that Washington game, and I told you the writing was on the wall. But what do I know, man? Now, listen, I'm not saying, one, that we're going to lose tomorrow. And I'm not saying, two, that I hope we lose tomorrow. In fact, I hope tomorrow the Steelers go into Cleveland and they destroy the Cleveland Browns. I hope they absolutely massacre that team. And so I can come on, not only during the watch party, which, by the way, tune in tomorrow for that, but when I do my post-game recap, I hope that I'm able to have a much different attitude about this team as we head forward. Because being last place right now doesn't make me feel anything remotely close to good about our future as a team. Steel Twin says, sporting the It's Jagoff season hoodie today. Hey, man, it is beautiful weather outside right now. Finally. The weather is starting to get a little bit, well, to some people, it's not good weather, but to me, it's good weather. I love hoodie season, man. But they finished by saying the Browns are a bunch of Jags that need their teeth kicked in. Team needs that attitude tomorrow. And that's why I have this attitude, man, because everyone continuously brings up this history thing, right? Oh, we've beaten the Browns, this, that. Man, throw that shit out the window. Unfortunately, this is not the same Browns team. And right now, they are a legitimate threat to our playoff hopes. And again, I can't stress this enough. This is the battle of two mediocre teams. It ain't just us, man. They're pretty mediocre right now as well. Now, of course, and I'll pull it up again just so we have some context here, because holy shit. Here's our list right here. Now, keep in mind, not all these players are going to miss out in the game, but my God, look at this list of players that are injured. Me personally, I want to play the Browns without all of these injuries. Here's why. Because a win tomorrow, and you can say a win's a win, but a win tomorrow kind of paints a false picture. Does anyone in the chat understand what I'm saying right now? Seriously? I mean, be honest. When I say this is painting a false picture. So you have a team that last year went 11-0, and guess what? The Mouse were all saying the same thing. Well, the Steelers had an easy schedule, or they didn't play any actual good teams. And then we got into the playoffs and we're a first round exit. I mean, shit, man, maybe there was some truth to it. I don't know. One thing I do know is I'm overly frustrated right now as a Steelers fan. And Twins will tell you this because I said it many times in the offseason. I was pretty optimistic at the beginning of the season. I really was. And honestly, this season, even with the injuries, it doesn't really feel like injuries is the excuse. Game Review says Bush and Dupree were huge losses. Yeah. I'm not gonna say that isn't a fact. It is a fact. Those were definitely huge losses. But the problem is the defense really wasn't the issue last season. It was the offense. I don't know what changed, because at the beginning of that season, the Steelers were red hot, man. For those first, 6 to 8 weeks, red hot. And then either this team just started falling flat. I don't know what the issue is. Ben started looking a little bit more exhausted towards the end. Same with Pouncey, which is why he ended up retiring. Trust me, Pouncey didn't just retire because of that bonehead mistake he made in the playoffs. Guy realized he was getting older. And that's going to happen to every single one of us. But I really blame the offense last season. I mean, Ben in that playoff game, for instance, he threw how many picks? Oh, but he had 600 yards in the air. I'd have 600 yards in the air, too, if I threw that many interceptions and was forced to throw the ball for the rest of the game. Playing as desperately as possible. Man. Sitting here talking about statistics that don't mean jack shit. Jack shit, man. Steel Twin says if we win tomorrow, it won't be a true win. To be honest, the Browns are hurt all over the board. I want a healthy Browns team. I do too, because you play against a team that has all their players, all their, their complete roster. A win like that means more. Because it says to me, okay, this team is for real. The Steelers can be competitive, and we do have a legit shot in the playoffs. We could beat the Chiefs, who honestly, the Chiefs aren't really that scary like years past, in my opinion. But man, we have an exact shot, man. Leedy says exactly, JB. People always want to talk about our linebackers got hurt last season, leading to our downfall, when the problem was the Burger King offense. I don't know what people were watching, man. It wasn't the defense. In the playoff game specifically, yeah. TJ Watt was the non-factor, which still to this day, believe it or not, bugs the shit out of me. Because you see what he's doing now. You see what the guy's doing now. And if there is one player, now listen, football is a team game. That's never going to change. But I'll admit, TJ Watt is that damn good that he changes that team, man. TJ Watt is the anchor of the defense that allows everyone else around that defense to flourish, to do better. E-Money, what's going on, bro? He says week 12, all our linebackers went down. Yeah, well, when the offense can't do much outside of throwing 5-yard passes, can't really fault the defense. And that's no different than this year, especially this year. Even more this year. Let me paint the picture for tomorrow, ladies and gentlemen. I did this on the Max's stream. Shout out to the Max. He's a Cleveland Brown fan. Let me paint the picture. Here's what could happen tomorrow. Here's what I don't want to happen tomorrow. You got a Steelers defense that allowed the Seahawks to run all over them. I said that at the beginning of this stream. You got the Browns, who are very efficient at running the ball, and they just got Chubb back. If this Steelers defense isn't prepared for the run, it is going to be a problem, and here's why. It ain't just the defense. It's that fucking offense. The Steelers, I mean, how many times this season, chat, have you seen this offense go 3 and fucking out? Are the defense made of robots, ladies and gentlemen? Is this defense a robotic system? Or are they human beings who get exhausted like any one of us? Athletic or not. This is a defense that will crumble if the offense is incapable of getting first downs and more. More specifically, get some goddamn points. Pull up some more stats here. Hold on. I want to look at something. Points per game. The Browns have allowed 24.7. If this offense cannot get 24.7 points in this game, we are going to lose. We are going to lose. Because so far this season, and I'm not just basing this off the Seahawks, because some of you guys are going to pull up other games. Think about what you're saying before you say it. Don't point at other teams that don't have a great running back system. Just don't stop. The Seahawks ran all over us. There's no excuse. It's not just like the Seahawks had one great play that went for 60 yards. They were running the ball down our fucking throats. And now we're coming into a game where we're playing not just one, but obviously 2 great running backs. Chubb can do a lot of damage. And say what you want to say about Baker Mayfield, but I think he gives them a better chance than the other quarterback, who I don't even know his fucking name, if I'm being honest. We've allowed 19.5 points in a game, which could be better if you want to talk about being a number 1 defense, top 3 defense. 19.5, it's definitely manageable, though. If you're allowing a team to only get 20, we'll just round it off. 20 points in a game, your offense has to be pretty decent. And right now, I'm just not seeing it. Leedy says the offense has gotten better from the 1-3 start, but still have a long way to go. I'm not there yet, bro. I'm not in that boat of putting them in the we've gotten better column. I'm just not. Because I can't agree with that 100%. I want to see this offense do something against a very good defense. And I want to see it, and here we go. I should just change my channel name to this. Consistency. I want to see some consistency. Yeah, there you go, Lady Case. Yeah, I know. I've been seeing that all week too. Everyone's saying he's better than Baker. I just don't think so. Lee, what's going on? He says, this is common sense. When the offense can't drive you consistently, put the defense back on the field, they will get tired. Yeah. I'm painting the picture right now of what could happen tomorrow. this really comes down to, here's the preview in a nutshell if you want to get out of here. The Steelers have to play offensively for 4 quarters. Not just for the second half. We can't take 2 quarters to get started, to get the ball rolling. We got to play 4 fucking quarters. Not 1, not 2, not 3, 4. We got to play 4 quarters. No 3 and outs. No 5-yard passes. None of this dump and run shit. Stretch the goddamn field. Run the ball effectively. Get first downs. Get some touchdowns on the board. Because again, if you don't score at least 24 points, you're looking at a field goal kind of game. And I don't know if it's just me, because I've been watching this team since literally 1990, 1991. I am sick and tired of field goal games. This ain't a Mike Tomlin issue. This is a Pittsburgh Steelers issue. I always find it literally comical as shit that Steelers fans brag. It's almost like we're bragging. Oh, it's another heart attack game. Who the fuck thinks a heart attack is healthy? Jesus, man. All I'm saying is this team better come into Cleveland tomorrow and whoop their fucking ass. And yes, I'm using explicit language this time, because I'm sick of this shit. Go out there, play football for 4 quarters. You have the roster. I mean, what else does TJ Watt got to do? The guy's out there getting sacks. He's putting pressure on the quarterback. These other guys should be eating off of that. If they're not, well, I mean, I don't know 100% fully, but I have to assume you might need a better defensive scheme. So why the fuck do we still have Butler? If I had any criticisms of Mike Tomlin, it would possibly be that. But I say possibly because I don't even know if he's in full control over the coaching decisions. Or I should say the staff decisions. I really don't. And neither do anybody in this chat. Unless you work for the Steelers organization, you don't know shit. But as a fan, what I do know is Cleveland Browns, effective at the run. The Steelers have been, as recent as last week, allowing people to run all over us. Man. Could be a disaster tomorrow, but I hope I'm wrong. I really do. I don't even know how long we've been live here. Let's see. Where are we at? 37 minutes. That's good. All right, I'm done ranting. I'm going to open it up to chat now for a little bit, and then I'm going to get on out of here. I got a lot of stuff to get done. Steel Twin says if we win tomorrow, it won't be a true win. Oh, I already read that. Never mind. Already read that one. Leedy says, and that's another thing. We have yet to win a game where we play as a team for 4 quarters. Yeah, I've been saying that for 2 weeks now. When the offense does good, the defense does bad, and vice versa. E-Money says, what has Ingram been doing? He's been in and out of the lineup. Yeah. I'll tell you what, though, the few times he's been in, though, he's been effective, in my opinion. For a guy that isn't starting on the defense, he's been pretty damn good in my book. But going back to him, I mean, if he doesn't want to be a part of this team, then I don't know, maybe he should be traded. I mean, I really don't care about depth, because at this point, we're literally clinging on to hopes of being or giving Ben his last Super Bowl, right? I think the writing's on the wall about this team right now. You got to rebuild, man. And if you have a guy like Ingram that doesn't want to be here, your best option is probably to get some trade capital. Or not trade capital, draft capital. Jesus. Get some draft picks, man. Start to reload this team with some youth. And yeah, I know, man, the draft it's a 50-50 thing. You don't always know what you're going to get. But if there's one thing we can all agree with as Steelers fans, it would be that this team has been very good at drafting. So I like our chances in that department. And I don't think that it's time to get rid of Mike Tomlin. I'm not on that train either. Because I'm old enough to remember watching many, many seasons of Bill Cowher, who we all love. We all love Mr. Bill Cowher, man. Heart and steel. So, I've been there. I've watched it all. That said, man, if no one else has anything to say in chat, I will be live tomorrow, 1 o'clock, for Steelers Browns on Halloween. It's going to be interesting. That said, man, you guys take care of yourselves. Enjoy the rest of your Saturday. And I will see you guys all tomorrow.